This conference will now be recorded.
Good evening, everybody. I'm going to call the Building Needs Committee meeting of March 6, 2023 to order at 5:36 p.m. I'll take a motion to approve the minutes from February.
So moved. Second.
Hey, any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Chair votes aye, motion carries unanimously. Item 3 is ongoing items. 3A is Board of Ed buildings, and A1 is the Stratford High School renovations. Alan will give us a couple of updates on those. Go ahead, Alan.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chairman. So, yeah, I mean, I think there's some kind of ending activities still going on. There's some post-completion items that are still being worked on, still getting addressed, and we can't get into detail on them. But, you know, things have been pretty quiet. I know that as we move forward towards getting closer to the end of the project, we do still have, I believe, both Crack and Antonazi have time and monies allocated for both the paper closeout as well as the audit process. So rather than having them be on these meetings for kind of the last year or so when things have been, quiet, we kind of, put them on the side a little bit, and we'll bring them back in as we need them. And kind of as always, if there's any kind of questions for Crack or for Antonazi, anyone can reach out to myself or Ken, and we'll sort of bring them back in. One item that's sort of been hanging out there for a while that looks like it's going to be resolved is the plaque. So a final version has been issued, and I'm going to make a motion that we approve and issue for fabrication the current iteration of the plaque for the high school project.
You need a second?
Yeah, would someone like to second that, please?
I'll second.
Second it for the purpose of discussion.
Okay, now that it's been seconded, is there any discussion? And yes, everybody's name has been checked and rechecked and triple checked. That's what we've been doing for the last year. We sent out to everybody how they wanted their name spelled and everything else. If it was Bob, Bobby, Robert. Go ahead if there's any questions.
And Mr. Chairman, is the rest of the committee going to be able to get a final look at this plaque?
The plaque looks the same as exactly as the last one that was sent out. The only changes that have been made is just tiny spelling errors that we noticed. They left off a couple of people's names off the town council that we noticed. But the plaque looks exactly as the same as the other ones that we've seen.
Okay, thank you.
It's the run-of-the-mill plaque, just like was put up at Soto, and that looks like it, in all the different schools. It's just this is a little more modern one. It does kind of look like the one at Soto if you've seen that one. It just lists town council, board of ed, building needs, and then the Stratford High Committee.
Thank you.
Okay.
Any further discussion? We've already approved the money for this. If you remember, I think probably 2 meetings ago, Aileen, if I remember. All right, it doesn't really matter. We already approved the money. It was right before January, right before they were going to hit us with that price increase. And now this is just the final go ahead. It's going to be fabricated. And they're looking to install it probably right around when school gets out in the middle or late June. Hey, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Aye, chair votes aye, motion carries unanimously. Alan, we also have another closeout.
Yeah, if you want, we can kind of take that up now. But yeah, this is basically, it's similar to the other ones. It's another bond reconciliation from Turner closing out the site work contractor C&W Construction. And so
K&W.
sorry, that's right, K&W. So I would move that this be accepted in the amount of $23,941.
Is there a second?
And I'll second.
Okay, Aileen forwarded it out to everybody, and as Ellen said, this is just closing out bond costs that we've done for pretty much everybody. There's only a couple left. So this is just what we've done for everybody else. This one just took a little longer. It's towards the end of the list. Any discussions or questions? Hey, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hey, Chair votes aye, motion carries unanimously. Alan, is there anything else from Stratford High?
No, that can, unless someone has questions, that concludes my report for this evening. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you, Alan. Item A2 is open work orders from the Board of Ed. I don't see Rich on here. Does anybody have any questions for Danny? They've been emailed out to us ahead of time, as always.
Quick question, Ken.
Yes, Caitlin.
From Public Works, the issue or concern I had regarding Pender's Field, should I bring that up now or should I bring it up during town buildings? Where does Pender's Field fall under? Is it Board of Ed for repairs or is it the town?
Probably Dan would be able to answer that better than me.
Okay. Hi, Dan.
It depends. It could go either way. So if you have the question now, that's fine.
Okay. Just in terms of vandalism, there's been vandalism in the park at Pender's Field. So who goes out to actually clean it up, unfortunately? Does that fall under Board of Ed or would that be town buildings?
No, that's the town. We'll go out and take care of that.
Okay, thank you.
What was done?
There's
You're welcome.
a spray paint by the baseball dugouts and on the concession stands. And there were kids trying to break into the utility boxes. I don't know what the integrity of the locks are that are there still. And they were up in the MC box. So
The press box.
yeah, press box. Thank you, Ken.
Do we have cameras down there? Does anybody know?
Really good question. I raised the issue persistently. What I've been told is that because of that field being utilized by the school, the high
All
school,
the locks.
does it fall under the whole at Pender's Field in general? Does it fall under Board of Ed or is it the town? But we were told, Longbrook Park Commission was told that the updated cameras that were supposed to be coming through from the federal funding we got 2 years ago now, they were supposed to have cameras go into areas within Longbrook Park, specifically around Pender's Field and in the back of where the known bathrooms are, and then across the street back towards Prim Street. So
Yeah, Dan, that's a good question. We've been trying for a long time, the Longbrook Park Commission. Has whoever just called in, please mute yourself.
It's me. I was having trouble with my audio, so I just called in. It's me. I was having trouble with my audio, so I called in.
All right, and now we have you in stereo. But Dan S., that's a good question. The Longbrook Park Commission and Parks and Rec and our committee, we've been wondering if we can get cameras in there for a long time. I mean, Caitlin's been asking, I've been asking, I've been doing this longer than Caitlin. Dan, if you want to talk to people, go ahead. Anybody that can help us get some cameras down there, I think they're definitely needed.
Yeah,
I think so too. I will talk to whoever I can. I'll talk to Renee and find out if we have money in the budget right now and see if we could do something there.
it was part of a whole upgrade, Dan, with the system and then the cloud and how the information, if the police needed to review it, so that Board of Ed and the police department could review it if necessary. And then there were special cameras. There were cameras that were able to be usable so that if there's nighttime or dark activity where there's no sunlight, they're able to see. So Mr. Ciccarelli, I've been told, Ken's been told, has been the point person. So if you send an email, feel free to CC me on it.
I will do that. I will send them one tomorrow, and I will copy you on it.
Thank you, and Mr. Poison too.
Yes, thanks. And DNS, if you want to talk to Larry or anybody else too, and just tell them, we've been trying this from all angles, that would be greatly appreciated.
Yeah, I'll talk to Larry too. I just think the amount of money that we're spending for cleaning up and vandalism will far outweigh the cost of cameras. This has been going on for years.
And it was a grant. The town received a lot of money, so it's not all coming out of our operating or CIP.
All right, thanks, everybody. I'm going to back up 1 second, Alan, just to finish Alan's report. The indoor batting cage in the main gym at Stratford High, the electrical was done a couple of weeks ago, and it's slated to be installed this Wednesday. That's one of the few remaining things from the project that hasn't been finished yet. So I just wanted to give everybody that update also, that the indoor batting cage is getting installed, scheduled to be installed this Wednesday.
There's only one.
All right, item 3B is general town buildings. The open work orders and building repairs were emailed out to us ahead of time. Does anybody have any questions for Dan on town buildings?
I have a question or comment.
Yes, Caleb.
Dan, were all the issues at the EMS headquarters resolved that we had talked about last month? The electrical and everything? They had like a long list. Is he there? Dan, can you hear us?
Yes.
There you go.
I'm sorry, I had it on mute.
Did you have
Yes,
any
we've
questions?
taken care of the heating issues in the electrical. I think there's one or two small things to do there, but for the most part, everything's done. We have a card reader for one of the doors that we're having trouble getting. I'm going to reach out to I just did today actually, but I haven't heard from them. So the person that takes care of those and programs them. So I'll see where that one is. They were trying to find another one because they're kind of old, and we're trying not to upgrade the whole system. So we're trying to find one for that.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, any other questions for Danny on town buildings?
Call the doctor.
Okay, thank you very much, Danny, as always.
You're welcome.
All right, item 4, new business. Dan will put you right back on here. Town bid for the police lobby renovation. Would someone like to make that motion and include the town council part?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, this is Alan Llewellyn. I'll make that motion that we approve and send to Town Council with favorable recommendation the award for town bid 2023-028 for the police lobby renovation to RFJ Associates LLC of Trumbull in the amount of $346,000.
Hey, is there a second?
Yes, I'll second.
Hey, Dan, can you just give us a little rundown on that, please?
Yeah, what it involves is new flooring. All the walls will be new. There's new millwork going on. Ceilings will be done. Some of the ductwork vents will be done. Second floor flooring in the lobby that will be pulled up and new flooring put down. I think in the training room also. The carpet will be pulled up and flooring will be put down. And that's it's RFJ. We've used them quite a bit. They did the Bennell Field House. They did some work at the renovations at the library. So they're a good company.
I have a question.
Yes, Caleb.
When was the last time the lobby was renovated? or updated?
I don't think it ever has. We did some work. I think the town itself did some sheetrock work on the walls in the lower portion of the lobby. But other than that, I don't think it's ever been touched. Everything's pretty much original.
So how many years basically has it been sitting like that?
30 at least, if not more. I'm not sure when the building was built.
Okay,
I think it was 40 at least,
40.
At least.
yeah.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The chair votes aye, motion carries unanimously. All right, again, thank you, Dan.
You're welcome.
Okay, the next two items, this is what we have to do every time we're doing solar on town buildings or school buildings. The Building Needs Committee needs to approve these up to the state level for DAS. So if someone would like to make a motion to approve the Second Hill Lane and the Worcester Middle School solar projects.
So moved.
So, Mr. Chair. Yeah, the Alan Llewellyn second.
Okay. It's just as it's written in the agenda, and Aileen forwarded all those packets out to everybody. Again, this is what we have to do every time we do a solar project. Does anybody have any questions?
No, Mr. Chairman, I think I brought up a question that I think, we should do our due diligence on is, now I know Flood's had solar for years. What is, as far as the overall cost savings is concerned, that's what I'm concerned about is, are we seeing the solar panels up at Flood generating the energy megawatts or the kilowatts, I should say kilowatts, that they were supposed to be generating? And do we get those panels checked occasionally by either CSW or any other, I don't know if they're manufacturers or distributors or installers, I should say, that are doing the work? Do we have these checked periodically? Is there a maintenance schedule that we have in place? I think those are all viable questions that we should know.
Yes, Dan, I agree. And I know Rich had replied to you and said that he was going to check with CSW and go over the bills that they have. But Sam from CSW is on this call right now. And if Sam, if you can answer any of Dan's questions, please go ahead.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. We did a site visit at Flood Middle School and the Victoria Soto School to look at the existing solar that's been installed. And basically, from what we could tell, is the first time someone's looked at those in quite some time. And for Flood Middle School, we think a operations and maintenance visit is necessary. There are loose string wires on the solar panels, and we think string testing needs to be performed to determine if the modules are performing as expected. And we think repair or replacement of 2 inverters is necessary. And then for the Victoria Soto School, you need to install an Enphase Envoy commercial gateway to map and commission the system. This is necessary to start up the system properly and for remote monitoring. And we need to research the status of the ZREC with United Illuminating. And we think that the ZREC process needs to be closed out. Basically, what all of that means is, as of right now, nobody's really inspecting the systems, and from what we've seen, just based on our site visits, we can't really tell if they are producing or not. It's our recommendation that the town hire someone to perform operations and maintenance visits, which generally consists of annual preventative maintenance and then being on call if there are specific problems. such as like an inverter fault or damage to any of the solar panels. This is something that would go out to bid and competitively, and then you would have a an annual contract with someone to handle that.
Sam, so with both Second Hill Lane and the other school was Bunnell or Worcester?
Worcester Middle School.
Worcester, I'm sorry, Worcester. So
Yes.
you have a maintenance program that's included in the contract?
So right now we are just focused on the design and the construction, and then after the projects are fully installed and commissioned, then I believe at this point there's nothing in place for operations and maintenance, and that's something we would pursue afterwards. There is I believe a 2-year workmanship warranty. But after that, we would strongly recommend you hire someone to perform ongoing operations and maintenance.
And is that something CSW does, Sam?
We have done that work. It's not something we specialize in. We would be more suited to help administer an RFP to solicit bids from other contractors or from other developers to perform that work.
Okay. So, Mr.
And
Chairman,
Sam, this is Dan Wakeling. Would that be the same also for Bunnell and Johnson Academy?
Yes. So Bunnell, Johnson are part of this same overall like portfolio of 5 projects going through. So Second Hill Lane and Worcester Middle School are the next 2 projects, and then we're looking to add Chapel Street School soon as well.
So Sam, would your recommendations be kind of like what people have been saying since we built the Soto School and the new Stratford High School, these new high-tech type of buildings that we haven't had in town? People have suggested that we have somebody just watching those buildings and all those systems. Would that be kind of along the same lines as what you're saying?
I'm not sure about like the building wise, the whole building wide, like
I'm talking more like for the HVAC system and all that.
Yeah, I would imagine it's pretty similar. It's it's pretty standard, and this way, if any issues arise, you have somebody there who's actually watching and monitoring the system, and can send in somebody to fix or resolve any issues, when they occur, and it's not, it doesn't fall to somebody on the town or like the facilities person in the building to learn the systems and how the inverters work and all of that.
Right. So Sam, going back to Dan Semp's original question, what are the projected cost savings for these 2 projects on tonight's agenda?
I don't have that information on hand. We did recently make a presentation to Rich Ruggiero and a few other people in the town. So that's something that we can provide, but I just don't have that. I'm not prepared to speak about that this evening.
I understand. Sam, if you could email that information to Aileen, and then she could get it out to us after you and Rich follow up on that, that would be very much appreciated.
Okay. Will do.
I have a
Yes, Caitlin.
Sam, if you could answer, what do other districts do or towns do that have bought or installed solar on their buildings? Are you familiar at all? In terms
Is that
of
with regards to?
Do they have somebody on site or in the town that's already trained and specialized to go assist?
So is this with regards to maintenance issues?
Correct.
What we've found that the most effective is hiring a company to be, the operations and maintenance, consultant for the town. So they would perform, real-time monitoring of the production of the panels. So if they see a dip in production, that could be something they investigate. Because yeah, we've seen, basically it is best to hire someone who like this is all they do. I've seen other schools where the person who was in charge of that left, and then no one else came in and like knew what was going on with the solar.
Right, that's what I'm afraid of. So
Yeah.
Yeah, we have 3 electricians that are, they don't know. Solar is like almost like a different trade. They could learn it, but we're spread so thin. These are big, big projects. These are big roofs. We'd never be able to monitor them and keep up with our workload.
So, Mr. Chairman, one other question, maybe Danny knows the answer to this. So looking at both Worcester and also Second Hill Lane, how old are the existing roofs?
They're new.
Yes. Yeah. So the solar is actually
we just completed those.
Okay. So my only recommendation to you, Mr. Chairman, would be that we follow up on some type of maintenance program. And like, as Sam mentioned, up at Flood, obviously if this hasn't been looked at in years, who knows how efficient those panels really are at this particular time. And, in my short tenure with understanding solar that our company sells, you start losing some of that power over the course of time. So it'd be interesting to see specifically Flood and what's going on there, and then making sure that we do set a maintenance schedule up with somebody and put it out for an RFP.
Yeah, I agree. And it's kind of like you said, Danny, that, do you want to pay this hand or do you want to pay that hand? Like you said before, that it is something that we should look into. And I know Dan's guys are spread thin. They're at Stratford High every day, still trying to take care of the HVAC. So he's right. They'd never be able to do the solar panels and Soto School and Stratford High School. And as we keep building new high-tech buildings, sooner or later, push is going to come to shove, I think, and we're going to need a person like Sam said, and like you said, and Dan said, to do this stuff. And I see Caitlin nodding her head. I think it's only a matter of time. It just has to happen.
Yeah.
And I could be mistaken, but I almost think that like the solar panels at Flood might be at the end of their life cycle anyway.
Yeah, the ones that
they've been up there for a long time.
Yeah, the ones at Soto are obviously newer than Flood. I would say Flood might be one of the oldest ones in town.
Yeah, and the panel, or Sam, the panels that you're using now, Sam, maybe 20 years, 25 years?
So yeah, the way the panels are designed, they generally have like an 80% guarantee of production after 20 or 25 years. So they're still able to produce, a portion of the nameplate, but generally, I think it's like a straight line degradation over time.
Thanks, Sam.
just a comment. So when the council and Board of Ed, when we go into budget season, which is in the next couple of weeks, and we look at the utilities of how much it's cost for the town building, or excuse me, the school buildings, they go back maybe 3, 4, 5 years. Would we be able to actually use that as a reference point for the electrical costs? If it's going up or down, or that's not appropriate to gauge, Sam, if it's working or not for Flood or...
I think just looking at the bills and what you're paying, that's not going to give a complete picture. Depending on what actually says on the bill, it might show solar production, but you would need to send someone to do a proper inspection to see what kind of production you're actually getting.
Okay, thanks.
All right, Sam, technically on your end, can we make one motion for both schools, or did these have to be 2 separate motions?
My understanding is the state requires individual motions, and you have to like read out the project ID, the whole thing there.
Okay, would someone like to make the motion on the first one on the agenda, Second Hill Lane, and just read it as it is in the agenda, please?
Sure thing, Mr. Chairman, Alan Llewellyn. So Second Hill Lane, DAS project ID number 138-0109 RRPV. Motion to approve the solar construction plans for Second Hill Lane School.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, is there any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, chair votes aye. Motion carries unanimously. Would someone like to do the Worcester Middle School as it is written in the agenda, please?
All right, here we go. Alan Llewellyn, make a motion to approve Worcester Middle School DAS project ID number 138-0108 RRPV to approve the construction plans for Worcester Middle School.
Is there a second?
I will second that one.
Okay, any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The chair votes aye. Motion carries unanimously. All right, thank you, Sam from CSW.
Yes, thank you very much.
The next item on the agenda is the date of our next regular meeting. First Monday in April is April 3rd. We'll be on at 5:30 or as soon as Public Works ends. I'll take a motion to adjourn,
So moved.
So moved.
but not before 5:30. Everybody knows what I mean. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Chair votes aye. Motion carries unanimously. We are adjourned at 6:08 p.m. Thank you very much for your help, everybody.
Thank you.